Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us for this webinar this afternoon. Um, Today's webinar, we're going to be looking at connecting Access Analytics to Prospect CRM. Got a rough agenda this afternoon. So we're going to look at what is Access Analytics. We'll take a quick look at how it works. And then we'll jump straight in and do a demo of Access Analytics with a demo CRM system. Then once we've done that, we'll come back and have a look at some of the key benefits to using an analytics tool. It's such a horrible word. I'm going to struggle with that all afternoon. And why Access Analytics is a good choice. We'll then look at what it does cost. And then at the end, we'll have a look at some questions you may have. So what is Access Analytics? Well, it is a business intelligence tool. It's one of the products we have at the Access Group. You may have seen other business intelligence tools on the market. They all do similar things. So you can actually create data visualizations, we call them insights, on data pulled from the CRM, or additionally, you can also join it with data from other systems as well. These individual insights can then be shared with users, or you can actually take multiple insights and put them onto a dashboard and share those dashboards with your users. Now, one thing that analytics does very well is you can actually put security on your data. So you can actually filter it per user, which makes it incredibly handy that you can have one dashboard filtered with different views based on who logs in and looks at it. We'll touch on that briefly later on. But yeah, that's a really handy feature. And as with other business intelligence tools, you can actually do on dashboard filtering, and you can actually drill down from one insight to another to get more detail. So we'll see some of that in action in a moment. How does it work? So analytics is the front end that actually you build your visuals in, but behind it there is a data warehousing solution called Data Engine. It's another Access product we've got. And it basically has two components we're going to look at now. One is the actual smart connectors. Now, these actually connect to the data source, so be it the CRM or another system, and it actually brings the data in to the warehouse. And then once it's in the warehouse, you can then start to prepare your data. Now, this could be creating some calculated fields, doing filtering, basically getting it ready for visualization is what you're doing. And then you pass those, you eventually end up with a data model at the end of it. And you then pass those through to analytics, and you can then build your visualizations in there. And then, as you can see, they're live, so you can filter and do all fancy things with them. And it's the analytics that your end user does see and uses day to day. Now, all of this is housed within Access Workspace. Some of you may have heard of that before. I'm not going to go too much into it. That's a whole nother webinar, but there are two versions of Workspace, and they do have an effect on the data engine. You've got the standard Workspace, which gives you access to only Access product connectors. So that'd be the CRM or Unleashed or financials, anything like that. If you want to be able to integrate to third party, then you've got the professional version as well. So it comes in two flavors. But I'll go in detail about what you get with each one of those later on. So let's go have a look at analytics now. So I'm just going to jump across to my other screen here. So this is Workspace, and I've just got the analytics tab open here. So in here, this is where you can actually build your insights. I'm just on the insights tab here, and as you can see, I've got loads of insights, and I've actually put these on with Tim, who's also on the session today. We've actually been building quite a few different dashboards, and we just have them set up as just tabs in here, so I can just go from one to the other. So if I just jump on the sales dashboard here, so this is connected to a demo system. Now, all of the dashboards have a similar layout to them. So generally along the top, you put some headline metrics. So for this one, I can see my sales year to date. I can see a rolling 12 months. I can see this quarter versus this quarter last year. And I can see also this month versus this month last year. So I can just see some headline figures. And I don't need to look too much in them because I can use the conditional formatting to see that I'm down on quite a few so far at the moment. So you can see all the red there. So you can apply conditional formatting to make it easier to interpret some of the metrics. But then as I scroll down, I then can start to see other insights that show me a little bit more detail. So I've got a month summary here. And just looking at that, I can see that this year I started off pretty well. But then by the time I got to April, it started to tail off a little bit. So maybe I can take a look at some of my other insights to see if I can see what's happened there. And if I just carry on scrolling down, I can see I've got some pie charts here as well. And one of the things I did mention earlier in the ability to be able to filter, you can actually click on any of these segments or any of these bars and actually filter by them. So if I click on my champions here, so anyone who's taken a look at RFM webinars will know the champions are where you want them, your customers to be. So if I just click on that, I can actually filter that, and all of the insights on this dashboard will then update. And if I go back to the top, I can see my metrics at the top are looking much healthier for my champions. They're all in the green. But if I take a look at the month summary, I can see that I don't have any sales for my previous years. I have a little bit last year, but I have quite a lot this year, which makes me think that my champions are mainly my new customers. So I'm doing well. I'm looking after my new customers and now becoming champions of the business. But what I can take a look at as well, if I just remove that filter, is I can take a look at some of the other segments. So maybe my at risk or maybe my don't lose, because that's quite a big chunk of money that was being spent there, but now they're in the don't lose. So if I actually take a look at that, again, using my insights, I can see this is probably the reason why I'm struggling so much. I'm way down compared to last year. But if I look at the month summary, I can see that, yeah, earlier in the year they were spending and now they are not spending. So they haven't spent since April. So probably explains my downward trend. And looking at the history I've got here, these are probably long-standing customers. So I've probably maybe not been keeping so much of an eye on my longer-term customers. And what I can do is maybe rather than just filter, I'll actually drill down and take a look at the data behind that. And I can start to see a breakdown of my customers here. I can see their this year to date figures versus their last year to date figures. And I can see how far behind I am. And as I scroll down, you can see there's some big numbers in there. Now, what I can do is if I just click on a row, I can actually navigate and actually open the record in the CRM. So I can actually go and take a look and maybe see what's going on and see if there's anything maybe worth changing. There we go. That's better. That's what I was expecting to see. Yeah, so from the dashboards, you can actually drill into the CRM and go and take a look at the record. So, I may have a glance and see if I can see any reason why they've not been buying as much recently. And one thing I may just take a quick look at and see, I've not had much activity with them I've logged a problem for them in the last month, but I've not had much activity prior to that since March. So maybe we just need to touch base with our customers a little bit more. So that's maybe something for me to take away and go and take a look into. Just jump back to analytics now. There we go. So yeah, that's the sort of detail you can do, and then you can actually drill in and take a look at it. Actually then link to the CRM as well. And just scrolling down, just to show you one other sort of graph type you can get as well, is you can actually get maps as well, so you can see where your sales are. And if you want to, for the UK only, you can actually drill in and look at either areas, so Scotland, Ireland, Wales, England, or you can go down and look at counties if you want to break down and see where your customers are looking. And I've actually set this up so that if I drill down, I can drill down and look at areas, and I can see where my areas. Oh, come on. There we go. I can see where my main areas are. So my, remember, this is still filtered by my don't lose. So my main don't lose is in the northern part of England. So again, maybe I need more coverage up there to be able to go and see them. Another thing I can take a look at. So that's the sales dashboard that we've been pulling together. And the idea would be that when you take the analytics and connect it to Prospect CRM, you would actually get these dashboards. We are just fine-tuning a couple of them, but the idea will be that you will get these as a starter. So I'll just jump along to my problems one. And again, with the layout, I've got my headline metrics along the top there. So I can see my total open problems. I can see how many have been open this year. Now, if you're wondering what maybe one of the insights is showing you, you can click on the little info in the top corner where we've put some detail of what is exactly showing. So this one here is showing me the number of problems that were created this year, even if they have now been closed. So we had 800 problems so far created this year, and I can see 563 are still open, 237 have been closed. And I can also see my average time to close and my oldest problem, which if I'm looking back on my sales figures, this is probably not helping me. So again, maybe something I need to look into. So I can get some further insights, breaking it down by type, open by status. So I can see I've got quite a lot in waiting for the customer. So maybe these are not real problems. A lot of them are still open. If they've not come back to us, maybe we can just chase them up and maybe close them and reopen them if necessary. So again, something I can take away from that. I've then got a summary of my 10 oldest problems. And again, just like before, I can actually click on that and actually navigate. And I can look at either the problem record now or the company record. So again, if I look at the problem record here, I can again go and maybe see what's happening and why it's taken so long to close. This is not a good sign. This is actually recalled to me. And if I actually look at the note there, this has actually been dealt with and maybe should be closed. So I can actually go ahead and close that. And I'm sure that'll probably have quite a dramatic effect on my my time to close report in the report, in the dashboards. And I'll refresh that in a moment. We can see that change. So just going back to the dashboard now, if I scroll down, so again, more insights. I can see, number of open problems by account manager, maybe something to look at here. Daniel having quite a few problems. Maybe he's got too many accounts, or maybe there's something we need to look into, maybe some extra training if he's not giving the right information over. So maybe worth breaking that down. And again, you can click into these and either apply a filter or drill down and go and see the detail of all of those problems. You can see how old they are and what types of problems they are. There we go. So I can see all the different types, and yeah, he's got quite a few old ones in there that may be worth looking into. And another one that maybe is worth me glancing at is open by RFM. Now, I did fake some of this data for the demo. There's quite an interesting one here is there's quite a lot that have got no RFM segments. Now that means they're either never bought from us or they haven't bought in the last 3 years. So we've got quite a lot of support problems with people that aren't placing orders with us. So again, something I can look into. Again, it's probably due to the age of some of them that maybe they've not bought with us, but I can again look into that and try and implement some changes there. And again, just scrolling down, just to get some more insight here, we can see our top customer loggers this year. So who's logging the most problems and who's logging the most problems overall. So I can see here, Peter Young logged quite a few problems this year, and actually he has logged the most problems of all time with us as well. So again, maybe something we should jump into and maybe see, has he got some real problems? Has he got some training? And actually go and sort them out. That's quite a number of problems to have logged in a short space of time. And then finally, we can see a breakdown of open problems by advisor and who's our top closers this month. So really giving me a big breakdown. And again, from this, I may take that Henry is our top closer, but he does have quite a lot of problems. Maybe I need to share them out a bit. So again, just taking insights from the data that we've already got, and then just acting upon it. So the next one we've got here is opportunities. Not so many opportunities in the demo, but again, give you an idea of whether the dashboard is trying to show us. So we can see here the total value of our open opportunities. So we can see how many open opportunities we've got. We can see the average age of them as well. So how long do our opportunities stay around for? So I've got quite a lot of long-term opportunities here. And I can also see my success rate. So these are opportunities I've closed this month that have been a positive sale. So at the moment we're at 50%. So 1 in 2, not bad, I don't think. And I can see here my pipeline now. It is trending down a little bit. So possibly something we need to look into, maybe get some more inquiries in, but it's something we can definitely take away and say we need more pipeline moving forward, especially as we have nothing beyond December 2024. So definitely something to maybe look at there. We can also see value by status, so where our opportunities are in the pipeline. So if we've got a lot maybe in pushing to close, so I can see here just by hovering you get some tooltips. I've got 167,000 in pushing for close, and again just scrolling down I can then get a breakdown by value by the account manager and value by the salesperson, so who's actually working on it. And again, if I wanted to, I can filter by an individual salesperson and see what their details are. And this one doesn't have drill down on at the moment, but I'll show you how easy it is to add it, so we can actually go and look at the opportunity details there, and then have the opportunity to then open it up in the CRM if necessary. Our final one, this one I'll just show you briefly. It's very similar to the sales one, but it's based on orders coming in. So the sales one is mainly looking at your invoices and credits. This one is actually your orders taken. And I'll only just show you this one because at the bottom, we did slightly different. We actually broke down the counties and the regions of where our orders are coming from. So just so you can see the different types of maps there and the different types of insights you can have on your dashboards. Now, I'll just quickly show you how easy it is just to create a new insight and how easy it is to add it to a dashboard. So if I just go back to my analytics tab, so to create a new insight, just on the insight section here, I just click add. And as I said, we've already prepared a data model. So you'll probably recognize these entities from the CRM if you've done any reports in there. So if I just imagine for the moment, I'm going to make a small change to the sales dashboard rather than this month last year. I actually want it to be last month. I want to see how I'm doing month on month. So I'm just going to knock up a quick insight to show me last month's figures. So I'll go in sales transactions, create a new insight, and here you can see all the different charts that you can make. So you've seen a few of these across the dashboards. but there are a few we haven't used that you may like to, such as line charts or area charts. We have quite a few different metrics, so we've mainly used the simple number with text or icon ones, but you can get some that have got a little area chart at the bottom, or you can even get gauges that show you how far through you are. And in fact, we may have a go at the gauge one in a moment. But for the moment, I'll just do a simple number. And once that loads, I must apologize, the kids are off, so they're using up the internet. So just in here, I've got, so if you want to do any grouping for your values, but I don't want to group by anything in particular, I just want to sum last month's sales. And we've, as I said, in the data model, we have prepared a load of metrics. So there just happens to be one, if I just type in last month, there is actually one that does base net value for last month. And that will then go and calculate the value for me. And then just in settings, I can finish this off. I can just give it a header, just put last month. And if I want to keep it just in tail with the other metrics, I will just change it to a round large number, so it goes to 230K. And it's as simple as that. I can then just save that, give it a name, so I'll put last month. And that's it, done. Now to add it to a dashboard, if I just choose the dashboards down the left, I can click on sales. And if I just go edit here, I can then take out the last month, last year, just take it out. And if I just scroll down, these are separated based on the data view that generated it. So if I scroll to the bottom to sales transactions, there's my last month. I just drag that into there. It always makes it a little bit too big, so it's actually at the bottom. I'll just shrink that up. There we go. And drag that up and pop it in there. And that is it, done. I can then just save that. And that will now be the dashboard that everybody sees, regardless of if there's been any filters applied to their user, which is a nice thing. I only have to update one dashboard now. So the next thing I wanted to quickly show you was the gauge report, just because now this one here doesn't make much sense, because this is this month to date versus last year month to date. So that's now incorrect, so I can take that out. And I'll go and now create another new insight. So I'll just save that. So if I go to insights, I can create another one. And this time I'll use one of the gauges rather than a value one, just to show you the different types. So I'll just use this gauge here. So this one I need to put a bit more information in. So my actual value. So again, just like there's a field for last month, there's also a field for this month. So there we go. The minimum I'll just put as 0, and my maximum value will be last month. Oh, there we go. And that will now show me that I'm 84.6% compared to last month. So I'm close, but I've not fully made it at the moment. So just like before, I can just give it a title. So this is month difference. There we go. I'll save that. Month difference. There we go. And if I just go back to my dashboards now, I can then add it into the little space there. So if I edit that, no, you're going to put it at the bottom again because it's, let's make it just a little bit too wide. So bring it up, and there we go. So there's my month difference now based on showing me how far I am through. So that's how you can update dashboards very quickly. You can also modify existing tiles as well. I mentioned earlier about conditional formatting. So I'll just quickly show you how easy that is. So if I just go to my problems dashboard, maybe on this average time to close, maybe I want to put a little bit of conditional formatting when it's below a certain number and when it's above a certain number. So if I just click the edit button in here, there's a section down here called conditional formatting, and I can just quite simply set up a little rule. So in here, I can just say, if I do time to close, and if I say if the average time to close is greater than, and I'll just do a static value of maybe 40 days, then turn the text color, make it a nice red, show it as a warning. But maybe if the time to close is, I'll just change that to average again, is less than or equal to 20 days. I want it to be a nice green, the text color. There we go. Else, just make it black so it just looks normal. And what I can do is then I can just apply that to the text color, and I'll just call this my average close. And what will happen now is that will now go black, showing 34 days. But if that was to go above 40, it would be red. And if it was to go below 20, it would go green. And what I'll do is in a moment, I'll just refresh that, the problem data, because I've closed that problem that was quite large. And I imagine the average time to close will go up quite a bit. So I'll just save that for the moment. And on my other screen, I'll just make that update. And then in a moment, I'm hoping that will change and we'll see that go red. So the other thing I just wanted to quickly show you as well, as I mentioned on the opportunities tab, about drilling down and actually viewing the opportunities behind one of these pie charts. So value by salesperson. So if I just go to my dashboards again, go to opportunities. This is a really easy way to also edit the insights. When you're on the dashboard, you get a little edit icon in the corner. So if I go to value by salesperson, under interactions, you can actually set drill downs. So very easily, if I just type open, I should have one called opportunities open. There we go. And if I save that now what I can do is from the value by salesperson, I can now drill down and I can actually see. Oh, that wasn't the. They've got 35. Sorry, that was the wrong. I thought that was
Oh, the one you want is opportunity detail.
Sorry, got the wrong one there. But very quick to change. There it is.
So that there are a load of pre-built insights that we've set up that are, ready to use if you need to make your own amendments.
So there we go. So I can just now go and view all of those opportunities there. Excuse me. Yeah, so that was then. So and as you kind of, I think I showed you on the first dashboard, it's not just drill down to one report. You can actually have it give you a choice. So you could drill down to one or two or three different types of reports. So if you wanted to show different information, you can. So it's not just one drill down, it's multiple drill down options. And if I now just go back to my problems dashboard, I'm hoping the data should have refreshed now. Oh, maybe it didn't refresh. No, it didn't refresh. I'll come back to that in a moment, but that I was just trying to show you that change in time, but that's not gone up. I don't think I refreshed properly. The last thing I wanted to just quickly show you, because I've mentioned a few times about the data model that we've already pre-built and some of the insights. If you do need to add your own calculations or want to add your own calculations or own computed fields, you can actually amend the data models and do that. And that's done within data engines. So if I just go over to here, so these are the views that you build in data engine. So what we can do in here is if I just edit that, this will just take a moment to load because there's quite a lot of data in here. It just takes a moment to come up. But as I said, there's quite a lot of manipulation you can do with your data. You can do aggregation, you can do calculate fields, you can do find and replace. So the example I've got is on my problems, I have a field that I log the number of hours a repair takes. And I want to keep a track of how much time I'm having to spend repairing some equipment on site. And this is all FOC time. And I know that my hourly rate for my guys is £95 an hour. So I just want to keep an eye on that cost. So I'm just going to do a quick calculated field. And in here, if I just right click, I can see all of the fields that I have available. So as you can see, there are quite a lot. When you actually go through the reports in the report builder, you do have quite a lot of fields. The one I'm looking for is just our standard decimal field. There is decimal field 1, we put it in. So I'm just going to do a little sum just to multiply that by £95. Now, in terms of the logic you can use in here, it is SQL Server logic. So any function you can use in SQL Server you can use here, such as date add, date diff, all those different ones you can use in here to perform calculations. So I'm just going to label this, so free time value. I'm just going to save that. And then I'm just going to save the view. And that will just take a moment just to save, because it will just go and do a calculation for all for the first few rows, just to make sure it doesn't generate any errors in the data. And I've got this annoying bar I can't get rid of. Oh, there it is. It's gone there. Oh, did I click off? Let me just check to make sure I did save. I was trying to get rid of the bar because it's normally a little green box that pops up saying it was done. But I don't know if I clicked off before that was done. Oh, no, it did do it. Perfect. So if I now go back to my analytics, and I'll just refresh just so I get the updates to the data view. And now if I just go to insights, I can, all of the insights we've actually tagged. So if I just filter by problem, I get all the problem insights, and there's one here called closed problem details. I'm just going to go in there and now add that field. So I'm just going to calculate the value. So I called it free time. And there we go. I can now see on the edge of my insights there the cost of each repair, if there was a free of charge cost added to it. And if I wanted to, I can actually click on the little pencil next to it. I can change its name. I can also total it as well. So I can actually see how much I'm giving away. So, so far on problems closed this year, it's been about 45,000. So it's quite a lot of FOC repair time there. So again, something else I can keep an eye on in my dashboards. So that was a very quick whirlwind demonstration of analytics and some of the dashboards that we're going to ship with this. So I'm just going to go back to PowerPoint now. There it is. So what are the key benefits to using an analytics tool, and why is Access Analytics a good one? Well, probably just start off with just talking about why BI. So, each day, we enter loads of data into various systems, CRM, accounting systems, and we have some standard reporting in there. But they don't always give you the detail or help you see trends. It's only when we start doing calculations and maybe filtering it by different values, we can start to see trends. Like on the sales dashboard, I could get out from a report in the CRM or in the account system how much value we've done this year and compare that to last year. But with those insights further down, I was able to get an idea of, well, it looks like, we're doing very well with our new business, looking after them well, but we've neglected our older customers. So that's probably where we're down. And it gives me some insight into where to look and, trying to make up the shortfall. The same with the problems. You can start to see trends on, who's logging the most tickets with us, are they taking a long time to close? So you can then start to see that sort of detail. And we even saw on the problem one that a lot of the problems are actually being logged by people who aren't spending money with us. So that probably something that needs to be addressed. So you start to get more detail out of the data you are entering into all your systems. Now, the benefits of analytics is firstly to access the dashboards. You do not need a CRM license. So people who are not normally CRM users can come in and access the dashboards and drill into the detailed reports. You do need a license when you open the record from the dashboards, but all of the rest you can do without needing a CRM license. And that's because the way that Workspace is licensed is there's one fee and you get an unlimited number of users as well, which is different to some of the other BI tools. It is a per seat license. So if you only need a couple, it's okay. But when you start needing more, it can the cost can build up very quickly. And I wasn't able to show you an example of it, but the row level security that analytics has, whereby if we take the sales graph, for example, I could have Tim set up as a user, but Tim could maybe only see Daniel Cox's accounts. So I could set up a rule that says the data view for him is filtered to only Daniel Cox, but I could see everything. But we could then look at the same dashboard, but we'd see different sets of data. So that just makes managing these and looking after these so much easier moving forward than having multiple copies filtered in different ways. So they really some of the benefits of analytics. What does it cost? Well, I'll just remind you. So there are two levels. There is standard. Now with that, you can only connect to Access products, so the CRM or financials or anything like that. You get 5 gig of data, which the data I've got in that demo is only using up 400 meg, and I've got a fair few years history, and as you saw, quite a lot of problems. So you get quite a lot of space. 5,000 refreshes, so that's every time you go and update a table, so be it the problem table or the opportunity table. Now I've got it set up to refresh about 5 times a day, and it will use up about half of those refreshes in a month. So you've got plenty of refreshes. You could even have it going more, and the plan, and you will get the dashboards, the ones we've seen, plus a couple of others we're still working on. So they will come as part of that, and it's a 5% uplift in your annual license fee. So compared to others BI tools we've looked at, it is significantly less for that. Now the professional, you do get all of the connectors, so you can connect to third parties. You can also have data engine stream data out to other systems. Some customers have decided to use data engine to cleanse and manipulate their data and then still use another BI tool with that. So that's perfectly possible. You do get more storage, 30 gigs and 15,000 refreshes. So get quite a lot more. And again, the CRM dashboards again, and that works out an increase of 15%. Now, a lot of people do start with a standard if they're only looking at an Access product. This is what we've heard from other Access products who have taken on analytics. And then they only move up if they need a third-party system. So it's a good way to start. So you can upgrade at any point. What we're also planning to offer is some flight path that can help with running some training sessions. Just waiting to agree a cost on that. But we're also going to have a flight path B whereby you'll get the training, but we'll also help you make your own dashboards if you want something other than the ones we offer. We can either help you make them, maybe help you tweak the data views if necessary, or we can make them for you in that time. But if you are looking to connect to third parties, we can help create the data models. We can obviously scope that out with you and help you do all of the connections and the joins, because you'll probably want to join CRM at some point. And that is it. Thank you very much for your time this afternoon. I'll hand over to Tim, see if there's any questions come through.
Yeah, so we've had a couple. We had a question saying, we're about to write some dashboards to do what we've shown. Is there an early adopter program to get access to these? And when do we think people will be able to get access to the pre-built ones? So we're still in the process of finalizing these dashboards. So some of the content you've seen today might change. They might look different, a little bit different. We also might be adding additional dashboards. We did talk a little bit about doing some dashboards for maybe marketing and inquiries and some of the other new features within the CRM. But we're planning on having it ready to go into early adopters by the end of August. So if you are interested, then obviously please get in touch and let us know. So that hopefully answers that question. And the other question is, will the pre-built dashboards be free of charge? Will they be free or will they be chargeable? So the pre-built dashboards that we've shown today will be part of the starter pack. And we've covered the pricing for those a little bit. Like Rob said, if you need custom dashboards outside of what we covered in the starter pack, you can build your own. You can build insights yourself, or you can use existing insights and put them together in your own way to build a dashboard.
Yeah, that's a good point, because we are making a lot of insights that we're not putting on all of the dashboards, because otherwise they'd be quite long. So yeah, there'll be a few that you may want to chop and change, but we'll make sure they're all listed so you know what they're all doing.
Yeah, so because we've been building dashboards and other BI tools and for a variety of customers over a number of years, we've come up with a list of sort of the things that we think people want to see. And those aren't always going to be included in the dashboard because they might be a little bit outside of normal use, but they're still quite common. And obviously in this example and in the pre-built ones, we want to give a sample as to what you can do that hopefully still quite useful dashboards. So yeah, we'll probably have a load of other insights in that list of insights that Rob showed that you can just pick and choose and then put your own dashboards together. Like Rob said, alternatively, if you're not quite comfortable with building it, or you think actually you want to rely on our expertise, or you need to connect to other third-party systems that you're not quite sure of and they've got APIs and stuff like that, we'd probably need to do a bit of scoping to see what's involved with that and to be able to come up with an estimate. But that is, again, something that is possible. We can build sort of maybe bespoke dashboards, probably the best way of putting it, outside of the standard ones that we're including. And then another question, I think I've answered it, but what other dashboards will be in the starter pack? We're aiming for marketing inquiries, like I said. We may change some other stuff. And then another question on what is Access Workspace. So some of you might not be quite familiar with the Access sort of family of products and what's involved with that. Access Workspace is like an overarching bit of software that um, is really useful and great. And basically, the idea behind it is to give you a single, clear view of your entire organization. Access has loads of different products and different, functions and facilities and segments like HR, legal, all other bits and pieces, recruitment, all sorts of things. And it's really about giving you access quickly and easily to those and having them interface in nice ways. Um, you might have seen it a little bit when Rob was demoing, but you can go to the top left menu and when you're in the workspace, and you can navigate really quickly between the different workspace enabled software applications that Access has. Prospect or Access CRM are one of them, Data Engine, Data Analytics are another, and Unleashed, loads of other products that you might have seen or be aware of. So definitely worth checking it out. Obviously, if you've got other questions, then please let us know. Sorry, Rob.
Like I say, I think we send out a follow-up email, and we've got some information on Workspace. If you're interested, we can probably tag some links into that, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some of you might already have Workspace, so in which case it should be, quite straightforward and hopefully um, not too much questions on that in that case. And then yeah, one thing that I think is probably quite important to mention that wasn't asked, but um, we we've done a whole lot of work so a big part of BI is what's called ETL, which is export, transform, load. So that's exporting the data, transforming it into a usable format, and then loading it into reports. We've done a lot of that already for you. So you wouldn't need to go through all the work of like picking out, running reports and getting the data into data engine. We've done it for you. The idea is to just you get access to that. If you want, you can build visuals based on the data, or if not, just pick up the existing ones and just have it good to go. It's really quick and easy to pick up Workspace and to pick up data engine if you're sort of a little bit more techy, and Access Analytics is really easy to use and quick and easy. And there's loads of visuals, that you could possibly need. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question. Oh, we just had one come in. So if we have Workspace, do we need to buy the starter pack? I don't actually know the answer to that question, Rob. Do you know? I think we're expecting that people would need to buy it.
No, I think the idea of those flight paths were to give training on people who've maybe not used analytics before. So if you've already got Workspace, analytics, we can just deploy the data models and you're away.
Yeah, deploying them is also really easy as well. We didn't show that, but it's really quick. Takes like 5-10 minutes, to do. So it shouldn't be too much of a barrier to get into that. Okay, I don't think there's any other questions that I can see. So hopefully that's answered everything. If you're interested in this, then please get in touch with us. Obviously, Rob, do you have like links and things that people can?
I don't. They're going to be in the email that gets sent out after this. So if you want to be one of the early adopters when it gets launched towards the end of August, if you click on the link in the email, we can get you signed up and notify you when it's ready.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for your time today, everyone. And we look forward to doing more with Access Analytics. And yeah,
thank you very much.
All right, bye.